What is going on, guys? Gene here, and here for you today, part 3 of the Rebirth of Glory card review. So let's just jump straight into it. First off, we have Steelclaw, Wyrm, Bruiser, Dragoncraft Machina, 3-mana, 2/3 silver, Fanfare, add an assembly droid to your hand, and evolve if there are at least 2 Machina cards in your hand, deal 3 damage to enemy. This card is insane, especially for the aggro style Dragoncraft decks. Adds more small little minions into your hand, deals 3 damage for basically the requirement cost for its effect is irrelevant because you will probably have 2 Machina cards in your hand. And it evolves for full stats, is a decently statted minion, being a 3-mana 2/3. Just overall great card. Next we have Puppet Shock, 3-mana bronze spell for Portalcraft. Deal 4 damage to enemy follower, then put a puppet into your hand. This card will most likely see play since it is just decent removal and it adds puppets into your hand, which is good for Lashena. Next we have Brave Intervention, 4-mana bronze spell for Swordcraft. Put a random Swordcraft follower in that costs 2 play points or less from your deck into play, and deal 4 damage to enemy follower. Decent enough, but the fact that it's random, usually your followers that are 2-drop are just a 2-mana 2/2. So basically, it's a get a 2/2 and deal 4 damage for 4 mana. So it's all right. Next we have Hoverboard Mercenary, 2-mana 1/2 bronze neutral Machina follower. Fanfare, you put a random Machina card from your deck into your hand. This card is probably going to be played in most Machina decks since it just tutors for a random Machina card. Basically, it's 2-mana 1/2 draw card, which is always great. The one Machina deck I can think of that will not probably play it is Shadow Machina, mainly because their main win con is Ania, and this card just dilutes the pool that Ania could bring out. You don't really want to bring out 2-mana 1/2 vanilla. You mainly want big stats or cards that contribute to the board. Next we have Mechabook Sorcerer, 5-mana 3/4 silver follower Machina for Runecraft. Fanfare, give you the following effect: whenever you play a Machina card, recover 1 play point. Is a very interesting card for Runecraft. It gives a new style of deck that it could play, mainly because the Machina style Runecraft decks weren't that strong when it came out. Like Tetra is a very strong card, but none of the other cards really did anything for the deck. This card might help it lift itself up and combat in like tier 2 and tier 1 decks, since it basically means your Tetra spell, you might combo off with like the Tetra spell. You play it, it gives you a play back. It's basically free. The repairs that you get from all your Machina cards are free as well. Just very good card. Next we have Dragon's Hoard, Dragoncraft, 1-mana gold amulet, countdown 20. Fanfare, enhance 8, subtract 10 from this amulet's countdown, and summon 2 Hellflame Dragons, which are those 4-attack dragons with rush. Whenever an ally follower comes into play, you subtract 1 from this amulet's countdown, and last word, you summon a Dragon Sphere, which is a 10-mana gold amulet. At the end of your turn, transform all allied followers without ward into Inferno Dragons. So this card seems like has a very good home in the aggro dragon, since you're just basically dumping out weenies. Isis comes into play, so even if you get tokens out with like Byron and stuff like that, and then you could just at the end of your turn just make them all into Inferno Dragons. It's good enough for me. Next we have Library of Mysteria, Runecraft, Mysteria spell, 2-mana gold. Select the follower in your hand, put a copy of that follower into your hand. Simple enough. Will most likely be played in Mysteria style decks. We aren't losing much with Dawn Knight Breakedge rotating out. It's a great card. It's basically a 2-mana draw card, but you get to select what you want, since in your hand it's a card in your hand. Also triggers all your Mysteria effects, reducing their cost. It's a very good card. Next we have Zell Windsage, Dragoncraft Bronze, 5-mana 3/3 follower. Fanfare, give +2/+2 to another ally follower. And on the evolve, you give an allied follower Storm if Overflow is active for you. So Zell is back. with if I remember correctly, I think it has a better fanfare, but now it's evolved. Now it's a 5-drop instead of a 4-drop, which is already a nerf of a 2-drop. But it still gives Storm if Overflow is active for you, so there might be some broken combos with Zell in rotation. We'll just have to wait and find out if there is such a combo. Up the top of my head, I can't really think of anything. Next we have Icarus, Great Inventor, Portalcraft, Silver Follower, 4-mana 3/3. Fanfare, you put a random non-artifact follower that costs 1 or less from your deck into your hand. And Evolve, you put a random artifact follower that costs 1 or less from your deck into play. So basically what you want is the 1-mana 1/1 that searches for a random artifact from your deck. Helps with that. You evolve it, you get a random, you could probably most likely get an analyzing artifact from your deck. And this card is just very good for 4 mana. Just draw and evolve, you just get a bunch of stuff. Next we have Enraged Heavenly Hound, Heavencraft, 2-mana 1/3 bronze follower. Has Ward, like you should, and has Fanfare, gain +2/+0 if an evolved allied follower is in play. So if you have an evolved follower, it is a 2-mana 3/3 of the Ward. Simple enough. Next, Genesis got a legendary form of itself. Genesis Dragon Force of Nature, Dragoncraft, legendary, 10-mana 7/8. Has Accelerate 4, which is gain an empty play point orb. And if you could evolve and have at least 1 evolution point, use 1 evolution point and deal 3 damage to all followers. So if you go second, oh, and he still has Storm, like he usually does. But yeah, if you use this LA 4 and you go second, that means you will have the evolution point. And ramping 4 and dealing 3 to all followers is amazing, but at the cost of 1 evolution point. But usually you use your evolution points with like whatever her name is, the 2-mana 2/2 gold follower that ramps you when she evos. Yeah, usually in Dragon right now, you usually use your evos to gain empty play points anyway. So just using 4 to just gain an empty ramp you and just deal 3 damage to all followers is still pretty good. And just this card is a great top end curve, being a 10-mana 7/8 on top of everything. So oh yeah, insane. Next we have Artifact Remaker, 7-mana 5/5 gold Portalcraft follower. Fanfare, randomly summon a copy of an allied artifact follower that has been destroyed during this match. Repeat for each different artifact follower that is destroyed during this match or until your area is full. So you could get the 3/3 with Rush, the 3/3 with Ward, Prime Artifact, Radiant Artifact, Analyzing Artifact. The possibilities are just endless with this card. It's basically 7-mana 5/5 and just summon a bunch of stuff onto the board. And this is probably even better with Tile, since on turn 9 you play here and then you just plop more things onto the board. This card just seems pretty good for the artifact deck, since they needed a decent card to just fill the board up. Next, Hamlin Pied Piper Portalcraft, 4-mana 4/3 bronze follower. Fanfare, select the follower in your hand that originally cost 3 play points or less. Put a copy of that follower to your hand. And when you evolve, select the follower in your hand that originally cost 3 play points or less. And you put a copy of that follower into your hand. So Hamlin got basically a reprint, but as a 4-mana 4/3 instead of a 2-mana 2/1. And it upscales his effect, since before you couldn't really... Actually, no, it's the same effect, actually, if I remember correctly. But back then you couldn't choose Hamlin. Still, you can't choose Hamlin because it's a 4/3. It's a 4-mana now. But now he has an effect on Evolve that basically does his effect again, which is very nice. He's also very aggressively statted, so he might see play. We don't know, but I am excited for the card. Next we have Mechasaw Deathbringer, Shadowcraft Machina follower, 3-mana 1/1 bronze. Last words, destroy a random enemy follower. Yeah, so we're getting Lurching Corpse back, but instead of a 1-mana 2-mana 1/2, we're getting a 3-mana 1/1, but it's a Machina. Yeah, main reasoning for coming out now, mainly because if it was out last set, it worked with Arcus right now. So thank God it didn't come out last set, because this card seems insane in rotation with Arcus. But yeah, I don't think it will be played in Machina Shadow, mainly because, like I said before, Anya doesn't want the pool that she brings out with her Fleeting Joy to be diluted. You mainly just want to bring out the 6/6 with Ward, the Colossus, what was the other ones again? Bone Drone, and Technolord is like a flex slot. You could probably take out Technolord. No, it wasn't Technolord. It was the 2/5 with Russian Bait, which is actually, now I think about it, much better. Yeah. Still a good card though, nonetheless. Next we have Iron Gear Corpsman, 2 mana 2/2 silver follower, Shadowcraft Machina, has Ward and Fanfare Necromancy 6. Randomly put a copy of one of the highest cost allied Machina followers that have been destroyed this match into your hand. So basically this is a reprint of Usher of Styx, which a lot of people in Unlimited used in Atami Shadow. But instead of getting any of the followers that have been destroyed, it only gets Machina. But on top of that has Ward. So I don't know. Usher 6 is still, I feel like, the better card, since it basically it's not restricted for just Machina followers. Like, the best things to get is the Colossus, and it just puts into your hand. Or you could probably get a Technolord and just blow stuff up on the board, which is also very nice. But yeah, this card doesn't seem that great. And like I said before, you don't want to dilute Anya's pool, so it's probably not going to be played Machina Shadow. Unless they take out Anya entirely. Next we have Bone Blast, 5 mana bronze spell for Shadowcraft. Summon 3 skeletons and deal damage to enemy follower equal to the number of allied skeletons in play. Seems fine. That's all I'll say. And finally we have Whirlwind Rhinoceros, 1 mana 1/1 gold Forestcraft follower. Fanfare gained plus X+O. X equals the number of allied Whirlwind Rhinoceroses you've played this match. If X is at least 5, gain Storm. Yeah. If you could keep bouncing this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like Nature's Guidance and other cards like that, you could keep getting it bigger and bigger and bigger. And on his Evo, he has the effect of, at the end of your turn, return this follower to your hand. So you keep making it bigger and bigger and bigger. But the fact is that it would have been better if his Evo effect was on his Unevo effect. Maybe because you could just play his turn 1, bounce it back to your hand, and just keep making it bigger throughout the game, just putting it down. You just keep making it bigger. But the fact is that you have to play other cards to make this better. Makes it a much more fair Roach. Like the other Roach is basically, oh look, I just played a bunch of cards and then I play Roach. Instead of committing to playing Roach, then Nature's Guiding its back, and then later on play Roach, bounce back with another card, etc, etc, etc. This seems like a fine win con for the new 8 mana 6/6 from the mini expansion of the last set that cares about you bouncing creatures back to your hand and then dealing damage. Seems like a good card for that style deck. But other than that, I really want to see what this card could do, since it's a very interesting card. And that's it for today's spoilers. Tell me in the comments below any of these cards you liked, any of these cards you disliked, any cards you're hoping to see in the future, in hopefully within the last 40 cards left to reveal in the set, in the mini expansion, or in just future sets. And that's it for the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and Gene out.